High in the misty hills of Libulum Division, where the earth is rich and the air carries the whispers of ancestors, lives a people whose story is rarely told, yet deeply powerful. This is the story of the Bangwa people. A story of migration, of kings, of resistance, and of identity. Nestled high in the lush, mist-covered hills of Libulum Division, the Bangwa people are a proud and culturally rich ethnic group closely related to the Bamileke of Western Cameroon. With a population of around 27,000, the Bangwa inhabit a unique landscape, mountainous terrain rising between 3,000 and 7,000 feet above sea level, where forest meets savanna, creating one of the most fertile and strategic environments in the region. The Bangwa are organized into 9 independent chiefdoms, each governed by a traditional ruler known as a Fon. These Fons are not only political leaders but also spiritual authorities, supported by councils of elders and powerful secret societies that preserve law, order, and tradition. Living traditionally in compound-style settlements, the Bangwa have maintained a strong sense of identity, unity, and cultural continuity despite centuries of migration, colonial disruption, and modern change. Their story is one of resilience, rooted in the highlands, shaped by history, and sustained by a deep respect for tradition and community. The Bangwa people built their lives on the land, but their story goes far beyond farming. Traditionally, the Bangwa were skilled agriculturalists. They cultivated maize, yams, peanuts. These crops were not just for survival, they were the foundation of wealth, stability, and community life. The fertile mountain soils allowed them to thrive, turning their homeland into a center of productivity in Cameroon. But the Bangwa were not only farmers. They were traders. Positioned between the forest and the savanna, they became important middlemen in regional trade networks. Goods moved through their lands, linking inland communities to coastal markets. They traded agricultural produce, European goods, weapons such as guns, and, in the darker chapters of history, slaves. This role made the Bangwa a socially active and economically strategic people, deeply aware of wealth, property, and influence. Long before colonial borders carved up Africa, the ancestors of the Bangwa were on the move. They journeyed south into what we now call Cameroon, driven by conflict, survival, and the search for fertile land. Some historians link this migration to the Fulani expansions of the 17th century. For generations, they moved through forests and valleys until they reached the highlands. And there, they stopped. In these mountains, the Bangwa built their identity. They became known as Mbiengwi, the people of the uplands. They formed 9 independent chiefdoms, including Fontam, Fotabong, Fonjumita, and Fotodangatet. Each chiefdom had its own ruler, its own traditions, but all shared one language, Engwe, and one cultural soul. They were closely connected to neighboring Bamalik groups, yet proudly distinct. At the center of Bangwa life stood the Fon, the king. But the Fon was more than a ruler. He was a spiritual leader, a judge, a symbol of unity. And among all the Fons, one name would echo through history: Fon Fontem Asunganyi. The Bangwa were not only warriors and farmers. They were artists. Their carvings captured life, kings, queens, mothers, power, beauty. One sculpture would later become world famous: the Bangwa Queen. A masterpiece that symbolized authority, femininity, and cultural pride. But many of these treasures would not remain at home. In 1899, strangers arrived. Germans. Traders, explorers, then soon, colonizers. Among them was a man named Gustav Conroe. At first, there was contact, trade, curiosity. But it didn't last. When Conroe died under mysterious circumstances, everything changed. Germany blamed the Bangwa, and war began. The Germans launched a military campaign under the authority of Jesko von Patkema. Officers like Kurt von Povel led expeditions into Bangwa land. But they did not meet a weak people. They met resistance. Led by Fon Fontem Asunganyi, the Bangwa fought back. They used the mountains to their advantage. They resisted foreign control. They defended their land with everything they had. But the German forces were stronger, better armed, relentless. Villages were burned. Palaces destroyed. Lives lost. And eventually, the Bangwa were subdued. Then came another turning point. The First World War. World War I. Germany lost. And Cameroon was divided. The Bangwa fell under British rule. The British did things differently. Instead of destroying traditional systems, they ruled through them. This system, shaped by figures like Frederick Lugard, was called indirect rule. The Fons remained in power. But now they answered to British administrators. In 1921, the Bangwa chiefdoms were grouped into one administrative unit. Change had come. But identity remained. With British rule came new influences. Christianity spread across Bangwa land. Western education began to take root. Trade expanded. But the Bangwa did not lose themselves. They adapted. They evolved. They endured. The Bangwa were never alone. They traded with neighboring groups. They married across communities. They shared traditions with the Bamileke. Sometimes there were conflicts. But often there was cooperation. A network of cultures connected across the highlands. As colonial powers spread, something else happened. Bangwa art began to live. Taken, sold, displayed in European museums. Today, pieces like the Bangwa Queen sit far from home. But the story is not over. Today, the Bangwa people are still here. Still strong. Still proud. Leaders like King Fontem Asunganyi are working to reclaim their heritage. To bring back what was taken. To preserve what remains. The story of the Bangwa is not just history. It is identity. It is resilience. It is pride. But here's a question many people ask today. Some people in Cameroon say the Bangwa are overly proud, even narcissistic. But is that really true? Or is it simply a people who know their worth and refuse to forget who they are? At the heart of Bangwa history stands Fon Fontem Asunganyi, a powerful traditional ruler who led resistance against German colonial forces, protecting Bangwa land, culture, and independence. Carrying the torch into the modern age is Fon Fontem Asunganyi, who ascended the throne in 2014. Unlike the battles of the past, his mission is fought on cultural and diplomatic fronts. Creative minds like Nkeng Stevens are taking Bangwa narratives to global audiences through film and visual storytelling. Together, these figures, past and present, form a powerful narrative. From resistance against colonial rule to the preservation of culture in a globalized world, the Bangwa people continue to stand tall through the strength of their leaders, creators, and thinkers. Their story is not finished. It is still being written by every voice that chooses to remember, protect, and celebrate what it means to be Bangwa.
Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. Join us at Global Agent Connect TV. We appreciate your support.